Okay, well, good afternoon. A couple of things, I guess, just to clarify. I think we've all got a lot of wonderful information today. I think this has been really good. A lot of similarities going on throughout the different carriers, but there are some key differences, and just wanted to point those out to you all and then give you an opportunity if you have any questions. A couple of things for us specifically regarding treatment plans. We actually don't require pre-certification, Blue Cross Blue Shield, so actually submitting a treatment plan to us is not something that is required. Of course, we always have the right to do a chart review, and there are certain things that we want to make sure that you would include. We, of course, want you to make sure that you're following Medicare guidelines for documentation of records. So 2 patient identifiers, diagnosis, progress notes made, times, date, signature with credentials of the provider, and then things we would expect to see if we did do some sort of chart review. We would look for documentation of diagnosis, standardized assessment or reassessment, graphs to show progress, a treatment plan, or session notes and data. So for us specifically, without requiring pre-authorization, again, you wouldn't have to submit some sort of treatment plan. A couple of things about the codes, and I know with us not having standardized codes, that's created a bit of a challenge for all of us. But it looks like a lot of the carriers were very much online in kind of what we're defining for codes and kind of what the definitions of those codes are. There are a couple of differences, and I apologize, I actually don't have a presentation, but all of this information, we have a provider manual that's available online for Anthem and also for HealthLink. If you go to anthem.com, it's www.anthem.com. You would select provider and then the state of Missouri and enter. And at the very top right-hand corner is actually a section called Communications and Publications. And there you would find our provider manual, which basically we use for all-encompassing for all lines of our business. But we have specifically added in information specifically for the autism providers. Talks about how to contract your providers, talks about the codes and the descriptions, talks about the appeals process, our online services, the full gamut. So I think you will find a lot of useful information there. Specifically regarding the codes, of course, we are using the H0031 for an assessment. It's 15-minute increments, and that can be billed by a BCBA and BCABA. And again, all of this is in the manual, so you could see it visually. The H0032 we are using for supervision, so forth. That would be like treatment planning, and that also could be billed by the BCBA or BCABA. We have the H2012, which is where the BCBA or BCABA would actually be doing the implementation. Here is the Communications and Publications tab. There's all kinds of great information out here, but just to hit it real quick. And here's the Missouri Provider Manual, which we update 4 times a year. And eventually we're going to hyperlink it out so we don't have to scroll through here, but I'll get to this section really quick on the, sorry, I can't go to just the page, I have to go down. I'm not good at the mouse on the computer. Yeah, I can't do this. This is horrible, I need a regular mouse.
Don't do it on this one.
Oh, can I do that?
Cool.
I just need you to get me the codes, Joylyn.
Are they after the cards?
I don't know. Let's see. Oh, go back.
Sorry.
I found them. Okay, here is the provider manual. And this is actually where it's talking about the different codes. So you see here, we talked about the H0031 and H0032. And we do list in there how many increments, like 15-minute increments, and what provider type can actually bill those. And something to note, just because I've noticed from some of the other carriers, is there is some differences on who can bill what. So just make sure that you pay attention to that component, just so that you're billing the right piece for the right carrier. I think the next one we were down to is the H2012. That's ABA therapy provided directly by the BCBA or BCABA, and that one is billed in 1-hour increments. We have the H2019, and that's ABA therapy provided by a paraprofessional, and then that would be billed in 15-minute increments. And I know specifically for us, only a BCBA can bill that, so they're supervising the paraprofessional and so forth. And I think there's some differences with some of the carriers on that. And then the last code we actually added was the H2014, and that would be a group therapy code for autism. So all of that information is actually available in the provider manual. A couple of other things, if we have a moment, that I did want to make sure to clarify is the fact as far as contracting. For Anthem Blue Cross Blue Shield and for HealthLink, we do contract only individually with providers for the BCBA and BCABAs. Credentialing is not required for Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield or HealthLink. It actually is out of scope, so there is no credentialing process for us, but you would have a contracting process. If you're interested in contracting with Blue Cross, I guess I'm still online here, right? Let's see. Oh, here we go. If you're interested in contracting with Blue Cross, you would actually go here back to the provider homepage to the provider maintenance form. Oh, I don't know what that is. Okay, and here, actually, you would complete the online provider maintenance form. There's multiple fields. There's information specifically on there for autism. Please note that we do utilize this form for 5 other Anthem states, so there could be other states' information, and it does break those down by section. So honestly, it's a really long form. But that's how you would begin the contracting process. And once you submitted that form online, it would actually go to our contracting unit, and they would then send you out contracts. I know some questions earlier were talking about provider contracts, and a lot of provider contracts refer to a provider as a physician. Our contracts are specifically tailored for the BCBA and BCABAs. So I just wanted to make sure that you were aware of that. Full instructions on how to complete those packets, our selection standards, all of that information is required. Of course, you have to submit your state licensure. But all of that would be included. Calling for benefits and eligibility is critical into providing, checking on benefits and for services and so forth. And there's been a lot, back and forth on determining is somebody covered or if they are not covered. One thing we want to mention is that you are checking benefits and eligibility online, and we actually, we have an online provider web portal through anthem.com. However, we're getting ready to phase that out, and we've joined with Availity. We actually have a representative here, Leslie Kennedy. Stick your hand up. She's Availity is a multi-payer portal, so there are multiple payers that are part of Availity where you can go on to one website, log in, and have the same look and feel and find all the information in the same place, benefits, eligibility, claims. And Anthem is a part of that. And so if you go online, you can check benefits and eligibility right away through Availity. The autism benefits are loaded out there in detail, just like they would be on our website. You can file claims directly to Anthem through Availity at no cost to the provider. So we really are encouraging every provider to file electronically. I know I've heard both sides here, if you're doing electronic or if you're doing paper claims, but we really want to make sure that everyone's filing electronically, and so we're here to help you do that if you would need any assistance. I did provide that on the front table. If everybody can see here, I have a quick contact sheet, and then I also have a listing of our local provider relations consultants. The quick contact sheet should be the latest and greatest: phone number, email address, fax machine, medical director, you name it, we got it. It's on this form. And we found this very helpful, just as giving you a quick document in case you need to contact someone at Blue Cross. And I do keep this on the front of the provider homepage, so you can always check to see if there's an updated version. I do put the date at the bottom. And then also, I just want to make sure that everyone is aware, you do have a local representative within the state for Anthem Blue Cross, and the territory listing is here. I apologize, it actually says HealthLink, which we cover both businesses. I grabbed the wrong ones, but your consultant is the same for both businesses. So if you were to have any questions, if you need an orientation, you don't understand how to bill, your claims aren't processing correctly, you can't get your answers through customer service, so you're just not quite sure what to ask, we would be more than happy to come out to the offices. We are trying to make it out for provider orientations as providers are being contracted, but we are aware that we haven't made it to every office. So if you're needing some sort of in-service, please feel free to contact your local network relations consultant, and they would be able to answer all the questions that you would need regarding Anthem Blue Cross and HealthLink, regarding any, autism, anything.